Hi, my name is Gail. I am 48 years old and I am 18 years positive HIV. I am the director of Mount Lebanon Baptist Church HIV Outreach Services, and my door is always open to anyone, family, friends, neighbors, who have any questions regarding HIV.
You know, I've been divorced for 2 years now, and I'm thinking about getting back out into the dating scene.
Mm-hmm.
My primary concern right now is trust. How do you get past that trust issue
Mm-hmm.
that somebody may have your life in their hands?
Well, I would always say you take control of your life, period,
Mm.
regardless of who that person is. You always have safe sex. Um, and by safe sex, I mean, you always use protection, such as condoms. Never have sex without a condom. If he doesn't have a condom, you have a condom on you at all times. Because again, like you said, you're putting your life in somebody else's hand. And what you can also do, which might alleviate some of that stress for you, is to go get HIV tested together before once you've talked and you got to know them and you decide that you want to have a physical relationship, then bring up the fact of, well, let's get tested before we do that.
And I get that, except I'm not with him 24/7.
Right.
Again,
Right.
the trust issue going on.
Right, and that's why I said that keep it. Your life is in your hands. So make sure that you have a condom at all times, and if he doesn't want to use the condom, then he's not going to have sex with you. You just have to be firm with that. So that's when I was diagnosed, and people ask me all the time, well, how did you get HIV? Well, I was never a drug user, and it was through unprotected sex. I trusted, I dated people, and when they said that they weren't seeing anybody else, or they weren't doing drugs or whatever, then we had unprotected sex. And again, I take full responsibility for that because it was my decision to be okay with that.
Okay.
So what I stress to anybody now, especially to these young women out here, that you can still have fun and have sex with protection. And that's the best thing that you can do, because unprotected sex could mean a life change in many ways other than having children.
Right.
So
now you mentioned some of the ways that you could, have sex that you wasn't an IV drug user,
Right.
But what about, deep kissing, what the kids call French kissing? Can you get it that way?
You can only get HIV from blood and from vaginal fluid and semen. So those are the ways that you can get. So you can kiss.
Yeah.
And if a person has, you just have to be careful. If a person has any sores in their mouth, gum bleeding, then you don't do any deep kissing.
Okay. Okay.
But you can kiss, you can hug, you can drink behind somebody. You don't get HIV from that.
See, a lot of this I wasn't aware of. I was under certain impression, certain things you just didn't do with
Right.
an HIV person. I mean, I think I even heard my cousins talk about going to the bathroom behind them. Make sure you got the bleach with you to clean off the toilet seat.
Right. And when I first was diagnosed, in my ignorance, I believed all of that. Even to the point of when I went to visit a friend and they went to give me a glass or something from their house, I would ask for a paper cup.
Wow. Okay.
So, but through education, I've learned that is definitely not a way that you get HIV. And as far as the bathroom, or you can go behind them, but regular house cleaning ethics is fine,
Right, right.
But you don't have to go out the ordinary for that. I even heard that somebody said that when they went to get baptized, and they told their church that they wanted to get baptized, and they knew what their status was, that after the person was baptized, they put bleach in the water behind them.
Wow.
So yes, so that is definitely not. You can swim anywhere you want to swim. You can do anything. Again, you cannot get HIV behind somebody from things like that. Only through blood and vaginal fluids and semen.
Now you mentioned that you still continue to date.
Yes.
Do you disclose to the men that you're dating
Yes, I do.
immediately?
as soon as I realize that they have interest, I tell them right from the get-go, because that protects me in the long run. What I've done before, when through my dating history, once I found out I was HIV positive, what I did was sometimes I didn't want to disclose until I knew that person, was really, really interested in me. And sometimes the person will kiss you before you're able to say something. And I've told somebody after that and had such a horrible experience with it. I decided, I'm just going to lead off with, thank you for your interest, but let me be upfront with you from the beginning. I'm HIV positive.
Okay.
So that's
on average, how many actually stick around? And how many actually just walk away?
Well,
I think that's Carolyn's biggest fear,
right?
That no one would want her again.
Right. Well, as far as dating, I think maybe 2 people that I told that really had no contact with me afterwards. But I've dated about 4 people who were HIV negative, and full dating life. They learned about safe sex. And that's one thing that I was very clear on when I told them that I was HIV positive and they still were interested. Then I told them that I need you to become educated, because I don't want you to take my word on anything. So, you're informed yourself so you can make that decision after you find out some more information on your own. And I would give them information and I would have them talk to their doctors and then go from that point.
Great. Now, I hear there's something called female condoms now.
Yes.
Now, before I was married, we had the male condoms.
Right.
And I now have a 27-year-old that proves they don't always work.
Right.
Tell me about the female condoms.
Well, the female condoms are almost like a diaphragm. You know how you would put insert a diaphragm?
Right.
You would insert the female condom and then have a little bit on the outside, and then you would just have sex. It has lubricant and everything.
So you could leave those in for a while.
Yes, you could. You could be prepared.
I like
you could be
that.
prepared about an hour or 2 before.
before.
Exactly.
Exactly. Well, Gail, you've given me some great information. And hopefully, Carolyn will be able to reach out to you. Do you mind if I give you your contact information?
Please feel free.
And
She can call me at any
reach out
time.
to you and get some more answers, Of course, I'm sure there's some questions I'm not answering that she may want to know.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sweetie.
I'll fix my face. Okay.